Hello class. Yeah, I've been trying again and again to make the sound quality work, but long story short, I'll just do what I can using what I have and start where I am. Okay, alright, so yeah, this video will be covering discussion on the objective questions for our Term 2 exam, Term 2 test, okay? Alright, the first question is of course the square root of 2 to 4. Now, in the answer options given, you can select between 10 and 14, 14 and 15, 15 and 18, 18 and 20. So how do we do this? Very simple. One way is to use your calculator. Okay, square root, just punch in the symbol square root, 2 to 4 equals, and you will get the answer. Okay, and you can just find out where the answer lies in between one of these four range. Another way, without using your calculator, what you can do is, we know that a number being perfect squared, okay, how to say, the number 10, when it is perfectly squared, or 10 squared, we get 100, correct? And the square root of 100 equals to 10. Okay, I'm just putting it in this form so that you will see clearly. Square root of 100, meaning from here we square both sides. Okay, when we square both sides, 10 square we will get a 10, 100, the square root of 10 square is 10. The square root of 100, of course, square root of 100, we know this equals to 10, correct? Alright, so what we can do is, we just select the numbers, okay, in the answer choices given. And then we try to find out the perfect square. So we found 10, let's look at 14. So 14 square goes to 14 times 14, you get 196. So if this is the number 14, this would be square root of 196. Now we know that the number 224, if the answer option is A between 10 and 14, it means that 224, but we know that 224 is larger than 100, it's also larger than 196, right? It's definitely not within this range. So let's look at the third given number that we have here, 15 square. If you calculate 15 square, you will get a 225. So we can say that okay, we also know that the square root of, just to keep things in view, I'll keep the format the same, keep the structure the same. So yeah, the square root of 224, just okay, is in between the square root of 196 and 225, right? Now this one is already a simple, just a range between the number you can compare. So immediately you can determine your answer is B, between 14 and 15. Next, let's look at question number 2. This is the square root of 4 multiplied by the square root of 9. This is also pretty straightforward. Cert 4 times cert 9, what does it equal to? Now we know that cert 4, the square root of 4 is 2, whereas the square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 9 is 3. So immediately we get 2 times 3 is 6. Then your answer is D. Moving on to question 3. This is the cube root of -5 brackets in brackets cubed. Okay. Now kindly ignore this part. In fact, the equal sign has to be outside of the square root sign. Okay. So yeah, this one is, you don't have to actually get the solution, just need to expand. This is just testing you on your understanding. The -5 in brackets being cubed means it's -5 times -5 times -5. Okay, and the entire thing is being under the cube root. We are looking for the cube root of this entire expression. Yeah, so the answer is A. Now this is question number 4. Square root of 49 over 121. If you remember, when we come to certs, we learn about this. Cert of the square root of a cert, sorry, the surd of the fraction a over b, or we say the square root of a fraction a over b equals to square root of a over square root of b. Correct? Yeah, this is an identity or a formula that we can use that we have covered before. I've taught you multiple times on this. So what you can do, what can we do here? Square root of 49 of the square root of a fraction, which is 49 over 121. Okay, notice and be aware this is a fraction. When it is a fraction, we can use this formula. All right, the square root of a fraction a over b will equal to the fraction of square root a over square root b. So in this case, the square root of this fraction, which is 49 over 121, will equal to a fraction of the square root of 49 over the square root of 121. And from this, we know that the number 49 is a perfect square of the number 7, whereas 121 is a perfect square of the number 11. And voila. Okay, so your answer is C. Your answer is C. Now we come to the final question, which is involved from the chapter of square, square root, cube, cube roots, and surds. Okay, here we have the cube root of 27 minus the cube root of the number 8 equals to something. So in order for us to solve this, we need to solve this individual cube roots. We have to solve them individually first. Okay, so what we do is the cube root of 27. Okay, remember the 3 has to be small, rather cubed. Okay, this cube root of 27 minus the cube root of 8. Now, to help you to put into perspective, easier for you to see, instead of writing it to the side, I'm going to write it downwards. So, we know that one number multiplied itself, okay, a times a times a, which is a cubed. Okay, so 27 is a number multiplied itself altogether 3 times. So we know that 3 times 3 is 9, and 9 times 3 is 27. So it is actually is a cube root of 3 cubed, whereas this is the cube root. Okay, cube root of 3 cubed, whereas 2 times 2 is 4, and times 2 again we get 8. So this is the cube root of 2 cubed. 8 is 2 cubed, 27 is 3 cubed. So here we know we have also covered before, the cube root and the cube, they kind of cancel each other. They are the inverse of each other. So we get a 3 minus a 2, and therefore your answer is 1. Hence A. Alright, that's all for part 1. I'll see you in another video, part 2. Ciao.